most sincerely for this opportunity to stand before you as the leader of our Nigerian Union of Journalists.
But that's the visitor's notebook from the office of the common president of the Senate, the chairman of the national.
Possible quality policies and laws emanated from this Senate, this 10th Senate in our dear country. Your Excellency, let me equally thank you most sincerely for believing in our profession. You are someone who was tested and trusted. I know what I'm saying. When I was chairman of NUJ, I wish my senator is here, Senator Dangongo. Then he was the governor of Gombe State. He was opportune to give me a level playing ground for me to achieve most of my achievement at that particular time. Your Excellency, it may interest you to know, after the federal government passed a law for us to have what we call weighing allowance, I have to take that law, which is meant for the federal government media agencies, to my state. Then the governor of Gombe State was able to approve, and today I'm glad to see that almost 36 states are benefiting from weighing allowance. Your Excellency, I must commend you for your laudable programs and your project, for laws that are going to go a long way in changing the way we operate, laws that are touching the lives of ordinary citizens in this country. Your Excellency, it may interest you to know, NUJ is 70, and Nigeria Union of Journalists is celebrating the 70th anniversary of our great union on the 21st of next month, whereby we are going to unveil His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a grand patron. And your humble self is also going to be recognized and be given out on that very day. Your Excellency, Nigeria Union of Journalists was able to pick few senators, few ministers, few entrepreneurs, as well as few veteran journalists who have paid their due, especially former leaders of our great union, in which one of us is your member here, former president of our great union, Smart Adeyemi, among others. Your Excellency, we want to thank you for everything you have been doing. I want to also sincerely appeal to you. We are quite appreciative of your laudable programs, especially in the area of increasing of budget. But we believe we need to be doing a lot in that regard. We commend you for that. Your Excellency, and at the same time, we want to also appreciate you and commend you for touching the lives of our ordinary citizens. Your Excellency, Nigerian Union of Journalists is one profession that is dealing with so many issues. We want to see how the Senate under your leadership will come up with a new law that we call Media Enhancement Bill. That bill, if it is passed, is going to be a revolutionary strategy for Nigerian journalists across the country. It is our hope and prayer, Your Excellency, under your watch, that bill will see the light of the day. And we are hopeful with your purposeful leadership, that bill will scale through under your leadership. Your Excellency, at the same time, we want to also inform you that any moment from now, we are embarking on a tour to see the laudable programs and projects executed by His Excellency, the President of our dear country, so that we can be able to create more visibility and create more visibility to all the activities executed under this administration. Your Excellency, the night is fast spent. I'm not going to talk too much. I must commend you most sincerely for appointing some of our colleagues in your appointment. Some are special advisors, some are consultants. But precisely, let me appreciate you for appointing one of us, Seme Yebo, as your Chief Press Secretary, as well as other distinguished colleagues as consultants, as well as Femi Oderi, among others. But I will not end this presentation without thanking the Senate Chairman on Media and Publicity for working together with our great union, for working together for journalists to create more visibility on your laudable programs executed at the 10th Assembly. Without this much ado, I would like to thank you most sincerely for this opportunity given to us. It is our hope and prayer together we'll be able to take our country to a greater height. Finally, from my end, Your Excellency, NUJ under my watch is prioritizing and focusing more on issues around national interest and national security. It is our hope and prayer We'll work together with our colleagues towards changing the way we operate so that together we'll be able to have a very peaceful country that will take everybody will go and sleep with his 2 eyes closed. With this, I thank you most sincerely for this opportunity, and I am hoping that the request about the bill is going to be graciously considered by Your Excellency, the Senate President. Thank you, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.
For sparing your time to be with us today. Today was a particularly busy day for the Nigerian Senate. And in spite of how tired we are, in spite of the fact that we've been in chamber since morning, and this is almost 6:30 p.m., we decided to spend time to see you because we place a lot of emphasis on your activities. We believe strongly that any nation that is not well informed is deformed. And we are the ones that can ensure dissemination of proper and genuine information. So I welcome you, Mr. President. Hassan Abdullahi, National President of the NUJ. You can see that the young ones are taking over now. That is, so, from a very young organization, Advocate Broadcasting Network, ADBN. So congratulations. And we are saying after how many years? After 41 years, she's the first female chairman of NUJ in FCC. Congratulations. This is something to remember. That's all. My dear wife is the chairman of the board of directors of NUJ. So I'm very excited, and I thank God that I saw you today. So for all the national officers of the NUJ, I welcome you on behalf of my colleagues. For us, we believe we have a very cordial relationship with the press. But we always advise that the press must do self-evaluation and self-reorientation. When the West African pilot was started by the likes of founding fathers, as you and others, and then of course now talking of that. We had foreigners in Nigeria. So the press was established initially to fight against colonialism. And so that was the purpose, to fight the government of the day. And then many years after the colonial masters left, certain sections of the press are still fighting government. Because they thought the orientation of the press should be to fight government, not knowing that we were trying to bring about independence. And so we have to fight the colonial masters who were the occupiers of our land. And years after, we are now fighting people who are actually our brothers and sisters who are no longer occupiers. So the first thing I will call for you will be reorientation, so that the press will know that we are now in charge of Nigeria. The colonial masters have gone. So the press must change its orientation. Instead of fighting government, the press should be a partner in the progress and development of Nigeria. I thought you all nod your heads. The second point I would like to make is that with evolving technology, journalism has changed dramatically. And that is with the evolution of the social media. Now, you have to give us advice how we can partner with you to ensure that social media in Nigeria, breaking news, does not break the society. So it is left to you. I'm sure amongst you, you have the disciplinary committee, and therefore you have to find a way to curb indiscipline within the rank and file of those spreading falsehood and bad news. It is such a tragedy that even a war can break out between communities because of bad news or false news. And then unfortunately, if you do something very good, it will not fly. Bad news does not sell. Or good news does not sell. Only bad news sells. I had about 130 soft-serve media houses in my state when I was a governor. And every day, one of them will publish Akpabio arrested in the United Kingdom. And they say, and they will call my then Attorney General, Chief Assam to the rescue. Then they are just the news. Another one called Global Concord who twisted and will write Akpabio governor caught with $100 million at the airport. And so one day I was going to the church, I stopped. I called the vendor, who was selling. Then he saw me, Iran. So I said, it should pursue and break it. So they got me and brought me. I said, why are you worried? I want to buy your paper. He says, I'm not the one who printed it. I said, don't worry about who printed it. I want to buy this paper. He says, I'm not the one who. Are you not the one here? So they said they got you in London, 300 million. I'm not selling it. So I said, sell some to me. And he did. So I bought a few. I went to the church. After I had finished my remarks, I showed the paper. I said, am I not the one standing here? He said, you are the one. I said, okay. This paper says I was caught at Heathrow Airport with $100 billion cash. And that my Attorney General is frantically on the way to go and struggle for bail. The next day, that same paper published Photoshop by governor. Government house undertakes Photoshopping. It is simulation, and it brings out the picture of the governor who is in detention to show in a church. So there was nothing I could do. I just kept laughing, and I was bashed from point A to point B. And I refused to arrest anybody. And I allowed them to operate freely. So when I completed my tenure, just a week to go, they insisted I must come for dinner with all of them. And I said, why? They said they had a surprise for me. I went. And they gave me an award as the most tolerant and the best governor ever in the history of Nigeria. Remember that award? And they put it live on the IT. So I sat down and they were talking about me. So I called somebody and said, who is that? He said, it's the editor of Global Concord. So after I finished, I called him and said, did you mean what you said? So we can forget that thing we're doing. We're just feeding our families. I said, what do you mean? He said, if you don't write like that, they will not buy the papers. And you can't employ everybody. So your name sells. And so we had to lie up on your head. This is life. Yeah. So I saw it, yes, good and bad. I don't think at that time they even imagined what the reputation, what kind of reputation they were giving to me. But that is the press for you. I don't want us to continue with that kind of journalism. Let's focus on innovation. Let's focus on initiatives. Let's embrace the new technology, artificial intelligence. Let's rather use our paper for educative purposes. To show what innovation can bring to society, to show what education and good journalism can do to society. The war in Rwanda that claimed so many lives was nothing but rumor that the Hutu had killed a Tutsi, and then they were shouting. What happened in Kano at the time when we had Rwanda crisis was that somebody reported that somebody had desecrated the Quran and that she put food on top of the Quran in the market. Before you knew what was happening, Kano was in crisis. And at the end of the day, nobody could actually pinpoint which market. It's just like when Lagos is, people are running in Lagos. As soon as a few people see people running, they also try to run. Then those who are running towards Festac, the Festac people will run towards Okukomaiko. So if you stop somebody and say, why are you running? He said, I don't know. When they are running, he said, yeah, I saw them running. But you know, that's Lagos for me. This one will go to the left, this one will go to the right, and then everybody will run. So at the end, nobody actually knows why they're running. That's what news can do. And maybe one person I give them bad news that that armed robber that used to stay in the Republic had arrived at. Yes. You know, there was also a story I read one time. It said Charles Taylor at the Diogo border. That was that period of Liberia. So the idea was that Charles Taylor had conquered the whole of Ghana, the Republic, and Togo. And what was that at the Diogo border? People started running. People carried their children in their vehicles and they were running towards the island. And even me, at that time, not that I ran, I just took off for I was saying in first time, I said, if Chancellor can fight and finish in Liberia, finish all these countries, it's already a deal of border. Then the next thing you see, they will now come and tell you that the Chancellor, there's one criminal, aka, that's alias Chancellor, was found in the deal of border. This is the way I see it. You know, and so we have had a lot of breaking news that can tend to break the society. But you will, after this brief interaction, help us to advise us on what to do with social media. I hope you know that. Even when they generate the news, they also respond. Some will have maybe 50 accounts, 100 accounts. As they generate the news, they also comment. Yes, and before you know what is happening, you will look as if that's what is bringing to the society. So you are coming as leadership of the NUJ at a very difficult time when journalism has turned from just mere print media into social media, which anybody can use his phone and become a journalist, and at the end can attempt to break the conscience of the society. So I welcome your congratulations, and I assure you of the cooperation of the Senate. And then, of course, on the 21st day of June, we'll be celebrating your 70 years of journalism. I would like to be there. I would like to be there. Congratulations in advance. What is in life? Peter Pan, the celebrated journalist in Napoli. 1st January 1965. He wrote in his, he used to have a back page in his column then, West African Pilot. He said, what is life? You know? Is it worth it? And when you are 65 years old or thereabout, you are carried away in a very small box. And if you look at all human endeavors, achievements and otherwise, that box is relatively too small. No matter your achievements in life. So we must remember that we are in the war for a brief period. We must love one another. We must promote ideals of togetherness. We must gently know that security belongs to all. We must promote things that can secure the nation. We must fight insecurity together. Government cannot do it alone. We must know that in global recession, COVID, and the fights all over the world, it's very difficult for many economies to sustain itself, including Nigeria. So let us have pity on our government and let us support good initiatives of the government. The renewable agenda of Mr. President must be embraced by the Nigerian Union generally. So together we can create a future for Nigerians yet unbound to be proud. Congratulations and thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. We'll pass the case to you.
Presented to His Excellency Senator Boris Akpabio on the 3rd of June. Take it out first.
I have a singular honor and privilege to present this wonderful award to His Excellency, the Senate President on the Good Governance Award, Legislative Transformation and Efficiency, presented to His HE Senator Boris Akpabio on the 3rd of May 2025. This is a Press Freedom Award given to you on that very day. Your Excellency, congratulations.